Imagine dying in your own home, and nobody finds your body for days, for weeks, maybe even months. There's no phone call, there's no knock at the door, there's no one checking in. This is a rising crisis in South Korea, where they even have a specific word for it, godoksa. It is a legal term combining the Korean words for solitude and death. Literally translated means lonely death. It describes the phenomenon where people die completely isolated from their friends and their family, and their bodies are only discovered months or weeks later. Now, this seems extreme and distant, but godoksa is just the final physical symptom of a disease that is much smaller. It starts right here with the feeling we all know all too well. It starts with everyday loneliness. Today, only 1 in 6 people around the world report feeling lonely. This means loneliness is not just a distant headline over the sea anymore. It is in this very room. It could be the person sitting next to you who looks completely fine on the outside, but feels completely invisible on the inside. I've seen it myself. Someone sitting alone at lunch, pretending to be busy on their phone so they don't look rejected. Someone laughing along with the group, but never really part of the conversation. Loneliness hides in plain sight, and most of the time, we never even notice. And that silence is deadly. Research shows that loneliness has health impacts as drastic as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Globally, it's linked to over 871,000 deaths every single year. That's 100 lives lost to isolation every single hour. We live in the most interconnected era in human history. We have more ways to communicate and connect than any of our ancestors before. And yet, so many of us feel completely hollow on the inside. Now, this problem has gotten so big that even countries and governments have started to notice. In 2018, the United Kingdom created the world's first Minister for Loneliness. They started socially prescribing contact, so they referred lonely patients to, for example, walking clubs, gardening groups, or choirs, because they realized that the only cure for isolation is a community. But a doctor cannot build a community for this room. We have to do that for ourselves. So today, let's start small. I want all of you to turn to the person on your right. Now look them in the eye and give them a wave. Now look to the person on your left and give them a smile. If we all adopt this, imagine how the story would change. Godoksa, a lonely death. When we ignore the people around us, we let that little bit of isolation thrive right there. But it doesn't have to be that way. Imagine a community where a knock at the door always comes before the silence deepens. Imagine a community where everyone is checked on, everyone is noticed, and no one is left to fade into the background. Loneliness grows in silence, but disappears the moment someone reaches out. My final words to you are, be the person who notices and be the person who reaches out first. Thank you.
Thank you, Noelle.